All right, guys. Well, welcome to the Kia Store, Rainbow City of Gadsden, Coach Ali Smith Show, brought to you by our friends at Ali's Carpet. Check those guys out for all your carpet needs, and if you're in the market for a new car, come check out the guys at the Kia Store, Rainbow City in Gadsden. Coach Smith, going into your second season, man, you're off to a 2-0 start with a huge win over Etowah and Fort Payne. Talk about some of the changes you made in the off season to get the guys ready for this upcoming season.
Well, the big thing, we added a few guys, a few veteran coaches that thought that it would help us in a lot of areas. Thought we had a really quality staff last year, but we had to add a few pieces that kind of help us with a few of the things that we thought that cost us late in ball games in that regard, and just trying to build on the little chemistry of getting guys in position on how to learn how to finish ball games and then going forward.
All right, kind of sticking with the off season, every team had to deal with COVID during the spring and into the summer. Talk about some of the things you guys did when everything was shut down, and some of the things you did once everything was able to kind of get going again to get the guys back in shape.
Well, one of the big things with us and our staff, and that's why I said we got a quality group of guys, men that are real in tune to, they actually keep me up on the new technology, Coach Avery and all those guys. And so we already had all our kids into a Google Classroom. And even before we broke to be locked down on March 16th or 17th, whichever it was that day. So we already had them in that. And so, but we had to figure out how to upload film and how to meet and do presentations and different things. But we were doing once a week with them. Or you could either go once a week for an hour, or you could go twice a week, 30 minutes each day. I didn't want the kids to be burned out or anything, but we were still doing our installs and different things like that. So we were trying to do virtual learning through our Google Classrooms and stuff that we have set up through the school, and it was very beneficial for us.
Mm-hmm. All right. You spoke about bringing on some new veteran coaches to the staff this year. Talk about some of those coaches and some of the things they've done to get this team off to the start.
Well, I say, we brought over Coach Alan Beck. He has a wealth of experience, a lot of experience from being a head coach, and it was awesome that we felt that he was willing to take a step. I wouldn't say a step back, but he was from a leadership role to reduce from being a head coach to come be a coordinator for us and promote our quarterbacks and get those and teach those guys. So we thought that was a really big addition to our staff. We were able to add one of my dear friends and a very savvy, very smart, intelligent coach, and Coach Kevin Troop. I think one of the most brilliant minds, whether it's football or basketball, and that sometimes we forget about this. In the late '90s, early 2000s, he was coach of the year and different things. And man, this guy has been very successful in everything he's done. And so we were very excited to be able to add those guys onto the staff with the addition of a few other guys.
All right, good deal. All right, Coach. Opening the season with a win against one of your biggest rivals, Etowah, was pretty big. Tell us how important that was, getting that win to start the season and getting you ready for a tough region schedule.
It was a big win for us in terms of our community, as far as the kids. And for us as a team, it's a lot of pressure on our kids. There's no pressure as much as on theirs as far as probably bragging rights. But, with us being a 7A, they being a 4A, if we win, we're supposed to win. If we lose, we shouldn't have. It could be that, to our kids, it's really hard for them to overcome. And I think last year that it took a long time for our kids to get over losing the ball game. I think they beat us by 8 points, and and so then the year before they scored 20 points off of defense, their defense, and so our kids were it kind of gets into that mental state of what's going on, and so it was a big and a must win for our kids, and they had started in the month of December, once the season was over, focusing towards that football game, and everything they done in the off season was geared towards that game, and they wanted to win that football game and put all they had into it.
Yeah, I could tell they came out ready to play. It was a very good win, and I can tell everybody, the community was very pleased with it. Kind of switching gears a little bit, we're going to talk about the offense. They come out pretty explosive in the first two games. I think in the Etowah game they scored on the first drive and went 2 to 3 plays, and the same thing in the Fort Payne game. They came out, scored, two quick touchdowns to start both games. Talk to us about some of the things you've seen on the offensive side of the ball, and what's kind of contributed to that explosive offense.
Well, hopefully we, in the off season we talked about, we went back and self-evaluated ourselves. We looked at, we didn't create enough explosive plays. We didn't push the ball down the field enough last year, and we had guys we felt that could do that, and we had a lot of guys that returned, and we added a few guys to our offensive mix, and we felt like it helped us where people got to guard the entire football field, and we want to be able to find matchups and be able to make people have to play the run and the pass. And so we want to always establish the run, and we want to be able to be 50-50 in the offensive side of the football. We want to be multiple in formations, and we don't want to be predictable. And that was one of the things that we really stressed over the off season and through winter and spring workouts and different things of that nature. And it's something we really worked at. We got a lot of football to improve on, and hopefully we can continue to get better offensively.
Okay. Kind of the same thing from the defensive side. What are some of the positives you've seen from the defensive side of the ball in these first couple of games?
Well, the biggest thing defensively, we want to be the dictator. So many times, we felt like last year we played on our toes and letting the offenses dictate how we play, and that's not the kind of defense, and that's not the kind of football we want to play at Gadsden City. And over the years, as a coordinator, we always want to be more of an attack mode, and so our guys have played relentless and played very aggressive, and they got to continue that going forward.
Again, I've noticed your defense in that Fort Payne game. They let Fort Payne get back into the game tied up, and so what did you say to them on the sideline when Fort Payne came in and tied the game back up? How did y'all?
I think that we had got a few one too many pats on the back, and kind of got a little complacent. And after that first drive, then that second drive, I think we were in an uh-oh moment, and I think it refocus them that hey, people are going to play. You can't just show up,
right,
and we got to play. And so hopefully that we've learned from that. We relaxed in some areas. And Fort Payne has a really good running back and a really great aggressive offensive lineman, group of offensive linemen, and so they're very physical. But so not to take anything away from them, but I think we did relax a little bit once we went up 14-0.
Yeah, because I think. Once they got back on defense, after they tied the game, they got safety in the end zone, and I think that from where I was standing, I could tell that kind of got everybody going again.
Yes.
So this week we open region play with Oak Mountain. When this video drops, it'll be tonight. Tell us about some of the things you've seen on film from Oak Mountain and kind of what you expect out of them on the offensive side and defensive side of the ball.
Offensively, they're going to be very explosive. They run the triple option. If you watch Georgia Tech play years ago, you see them play. So everybody's got to be as disciplined as they can be, and we can't beat ourselves. You got to be very sound in what you do, and our kids got to communicate and talk with one another, but they can't be playing timid. You got to go ahead and play, and if you just go hard and give effort. But Oak Mountain, they have a very good quarterback. He's a point guard on their basketball team. He's a very athletic young man, and we got to contain him, and our kids understand that, and our staff understand that. So we need to make sure that we contain him.
All right, Coach. We appreciate you coming in with us. We look forward to meeting with you every Thursday. Guys, remember we'll film this every Thursday at the Kia store in Gadsden in Rainbow City, so you can stop by. And remember, if you do stop by, wear your mask and kind of remain socially distanced.